All right, guys. On tap this week is the Arkansas Razorbacks, and they're going to play off against my Crimson Tide, and I'm here to preview that matchup. So, first things first, what a lot of people are going to notice and what a lot of Alabama fans are going to mind is that Arkansas has played us close the last 2 years. Brett Bielema and those guys really get those guys up to play Alabama, and they do a great job coming in, executing that game plan, and really hoping to beat Alabama. And I've kind of gone through some of the reasons why, and I'm going to talk about that here in this preview. But first, let me talk about some of the players here. So with Arkansas, uh, well, no, I was going to say whoever their quarterback coach is, but I know who he is, Dan Enos. Somebody give that man a raise because no matter what quarterback he has, he seems to coach them up so well and get them uh, greatly playing the fundamentals. Play action passes are executed perfectly. Quarterback has good timing and throws the ball where it needs to be with accuracy. He's done it with two brothers now, Brandon Allen and Austin Allen. And the amazing part about the coaching job that he's done is that, a lot of people weren't expecting Brandon Allen and Austin Allen to be, I guess like stars, but they really have taken this team under their command, under his tutelage, and they have looked great. Brandon Allen graduated and off now. Austin Allen coming in. We didn't know what to expect. We just knew he was the younger brother, and the coaches said he was doing well, but nobody hadn't seen him really. And he comes out, and I watched a little bit of him so far. I'm going to watch some more, but I see him throwing passes on time with accuracy. The receiver's not coming back for the ball or waiting on it or doing things like that. He's hitting the guy in his hand because he's throwing the ball on time. What I did notice is that his arm is not the strongest. The ball doesn't pop with him, but because of it's strong enough and that he throws the ball on time and accurately, it gets to where it needs to be. And honestly, that's all you need from a quarterback. Chad Pennington did it that when he was with the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if you guys remember him way back in 2008 and beyond. But yeah, that's really good. And I'm going to talk about why that actually might be a problem for them later on. So Austin Allen was good. Offensive line still had the 6'10" Dan Skipper, and they got the other guy on the other side, 6'6" guy. Huge offensive line as usual. Brett Bielema. One issue is that their starting center, and this is sad. His dad died this week, and he's back home in Minnesota right now. They don't know if he's going to come and play for the team this week, and we all understand why he wouldn't. He got to grieve appropriately. So that is one unfortunate situation with Arkansas, and I feel for his family. I'll be praying for him. With their offenses, of course, they still have Drew Morgan at slot receiver, and they have Keon Hatcher. So they have two pretty good, smallish receivers, but they are talented. So their offense is balanced. And so look out for those guys. On defense, you can tell that they are not as talented on defense. They lack explosion on defense. I noticed in their pass rush, they don't really get after the quarterback that well. And I don't know if that's based on scheme or not, but they don't really get much push. They hold up well, but they don't get pushed. Dietrich Wise offers some pass rush, so that one guy is, but the other guys, you got to see more from them. The linebackers are okay. Brooke Ellis is instinctual. I saw him hop on the interception one play. Saw him get into the backfield and stop the running back early one play, but also saw times where he was too slow to cover the tight end or in that TCU game. Saw passes where he was blocked out of the play and he couldn't really get to the guy in time because he's not as fast. That's number 51, by the way. Look out for him. I expect him to make some plays, but I don't expect him to make a big impact. That secondary, uh, they don't really pop off on the page either. So the defense is their weakness, but they make up for it by being a bend and don't break defense. They are not going to let you beat them over the top. They're going to stay back and they're going to sit there and make you beat them underneath and move the ball down the field, which is very important. And I'll get back to that. Now, really quickly, on to the Alabama players. We already know we got Jalen Hurts, who's still trying to work out his timing issues with the passes. He's gotten better. He's going for the check downs a little bit quicker. He's going through his progressions. Next, we just got to get him throwing the ball on time where it needs to go, and that'll take him to the next level. He's a true freshman, so he's still learning. Damian Harris, he's still recovering from that ankle sprain, so I don't expect to see him that much. Joshua Jacobs look good, so I expect him to get more carries. Try to get Bo Scarborough implemented and BJ Emmons, of course. Running game looks fantastic. The offensive line blocked well running when they called running plays last week, and they should do that more. Uh, Darius Stewart probably still shouldn't play this week. I don't know if they'll try to get him in, but he probably should sit out. I think Cam Sims and Robert Foster are doing okay in his place. I really like this receiver group. And so, not worried about the offense here. I think the offense can do their job. The defense, not worried there as well for Alabama. Uh, no major injuries, anything. Everybody's still playing. No one's out for the season. Tony Brown's come back. I don't know if he'll get much playing time this week, but he will offer depth in the secondary, which is very much needed since we lost a few guys transfer, and we see what happens when some of our guys get injured. Now, with that being said, what do I think about this matchup? The reason why Arkansas was able to keep Alabama in close games the last 2 years is because they play that bend don't break defense. They leave their secondary back and will make you move the ball down the field. What's been the issue with Alabama then is that Alabama was a big play offense in 2014 under Blake Sims, and they were a big play offense last year under Jake Coker. Even though Derrick Henry had 2,200 rushing yards, a lot of his runs were big play runs that allowed him to get all that yardage. And I'll put a little caveat there because Derrick Henry did have runs where he, got a few yards and was knocking guys over, but that wasn't the norm. It wasn't because the offensive line was run blocking so well that they were consistent. It's just that's how good Derrick Henry was. The run blocking from 2014 and 2015 wasn't that great. The offensive line just didn't seem to open up holes, and that really stalled our drives. That's why you saw a lot of the Blake Sims locking in on Amari Cooper, and that was successful, got us to the playoffs. Last year, you saw Jake Coker throwing the ball deep to Calvin Ridley and hitting out there. He's doing in intermediate routes, and it was successful, but we couldn't move the ball down the field. And Arkansas's type of defense took advantage of that. And that's why in those games, 2014, it was 14-13 in the game because we had trouble moving the ball down the field. Last year, uh, we had trouble moving the ball in the first half, and even it's still in the second half. But in the second half, we hit big plays, the deep pass to Calvin Ridley. Like I said, Arkansas's goal is to stop the team from hitting big plays and make you drive the ball down the field, which explains their success. They're a balanced offensive team. They're going to run the ball and slow down the clock, and they're going to force you to slow down and move the ball. And Alabama had gotten away from that the last 2 years. This year, I think we're much more prepared. Like I said, the running game, the run blocking has gotten much better. So as long as we stick to calling consistent runs, we will move the ball on this Arkansas defense. And that was Arkansas's problem with Texas A&M this year. Texas A&M all of a sudden now has a running game, or it would seem that they do because it seemed like they had one last year too. But we'll see. Keith Ford looks really good, but Texas A&M actually took advantage of running the ball against Arkansas, and that allowed them to move the ball down the field, and that's why eventually Arkansas wore down and Texas A&M made that game stretch out, and they got to 45 points. I'll continue watching that to verify, but that's what it looks like from the early goings. And so I think that Alabama can do something similar, and our defense uh, will definitely hold our Austin Allen and the Arkansas Razorback offense. It's not much. Their running back, Raleigh Williams, I like him. He's a big, bulky guy, and he runs the ball kind of compact and tough. I like that. But we specialize in stopping the run. And Austin Allen, I do not believe that he can push the ball deep on the Alabama's team. And that'll be a part of my prediction video for this game. But that is my preview for the Alabama versus Arkansas 2016 football matchup. Thanks for paying attention, guys. Let me know what you think.